here's what's coming up on the Cold Popcast.
Talk to like a random girl and try to catch her attention with a compliment. You'll run into a lot of girls that might, that won't really flatter them all that much because like you're like maybe the third guy that said that to her that day. Yeah, one's trying to mediate like how to act in a relationship. One is how to get a lot of women to have sex with you.
But is that
You can't get out of the stigma of like you're just a person, like I said, with a high school mentality of I just want to get sex from women as frequently as possible in the most easy way. What's poppin', everybody?
Welcome back to the Cold Popcast.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Steve.
And today we're going to be covering another aspect of the red pill, focusing on the pickup artist.
Yeah, so we've actually done a few videos so far about the red pill to religion pipeline, passport bros, just the different types of red pill guys that exist in our world. So Zoe, can you tell us a little bit more about pickup artists?
Yeah, so basically this relates to the Miami guy archetype, where I'd say the Miami guy archetype kind of breaks down to two types of men. You have the self-improvement guys and the pickup artists. One basically kind of teaches men how to become attractive to women so that they, that women come to them. And the pickup artist focuses more on how to, approach women in that aspect. So it's like one is to bring them to you, the other is to go to them. So basically, to start with an idea of what a pickup artist is, pickup artists often self-identify as the seduction community or the pickup community. And it's a movement whose goal is to use seduction for sexual success. So essentially, it's based around using what they would call like seduction science, charisma, or game to basically, find ways to, pique women's interest, talk to them, escalate correctly, and essentially get you to that point to where you can, move a basic conversation with women to something that's a little bit more of the sexual nature and to make women attracted to you.
So how does somebody get game? Because I've heard the phrase before, but
Yeah.
I personally have none. I don't know. Like maybe like I'm like the exact opposite of a pickup artist, but I've never had game in my life, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's many forms of game. I'd say like game kind of can be broken down into like one, how you talk to a woman, your attitude, kind of like what you could flex in a sense. Like, if you're a person that brings a lot to the table monetarily, if you dress well, if you can make yourself smell good, like arouse her senses. Like there's a lot of forms that you can use as game to like, gain approval of a woman
like
or
using
gain
my
that attraction.
pheromones.
Yeah, exactly. If you can release your pheromones at will, like they do in the wild, you might be onto something.
Right. Yeah. So like just basically trying to be more charismatic overall.
Essentially, and a lot of it breaks down into like charisma, confidence, and I think that's probably one of the most important things about being a pickup artist or just game in general is. It's getting your confidence, but then you also do want to meet like a certain type of threshold when it comes to like the physicality parts. Like you do want to look good, you do want to sound a certain way, and I think the whole pickup genre is about kind of giving men those instructions to do that properly.
Now I've kind of seen like a lot of different pickup artist blogs and like different marketing and ads and things like online. Like you go on TikTok and there's gonna be somebody who's saying like, "Oh, I can teach you how to get girls."
Right.
Do you think that actually works?
You know what? It depends because there's a lot of scammers out there that I would definitely say there is a cringe aspect to the pickup artist community where you either have guys that are trying to teach it like a step-by-step thing, like it's like math, and it's like I don't think it applies like that because a lot of game is organic, and it's like it can't be boiled down necessarily to like a science in the sense that like I can be any type of guy and do the exact same thing this guy's doing to get the exact same results. It's not really works like that. I think the point of the movement as it was originally intended is to kind of give guys a baseline of like, these are the expectations that you have to meet if you really want to become attractive to women. So like in your own way or in your own manner, you have to try to accomplish those goals, like hit those steps. Like, I can't say like you have to get as big as that guy, but if I said generally, if you work out and take care of your appearance so that you're not overweight, that will be advantageous. If you present yourself confidently and like, generally take care of your hygiene, it's not guaranteed to give you the exact same results as the next guy, but it will objectively make you better suited to get your own results.
I kind of see how this actually ties into the red pill, I guess, because with the whole red pill ideology, it is about sort of setting yourself up for the best success in dating,
Yeah.
or like having a realistic understanding of dating. And I guess that realistic sense is like, okay, well, how can I make myself more what would be the word, like more
appealing?
Appealing, yeah, appealing or attractive or interesting or I guess charismatic or attractive. I Yeah, I don't know. I guess being a red pill guy doesn't necessarily have to be the entry point for actually being a pickup artist, though, does it? Like,
No,
are they? They're not intrinsically tied together, are they?
No, I wouldn't say they're intrinsically tied together. I mean, I think the whole red pill a lot of time is based around like, how to set men up for success in dating. So naturally, it's going to be a part of it. But I think the whole pickup artist like game industry kind of existed before it. And it's just something that like if you feel like you need it or if you struggle with it, if you take the right advice from the right people, you can incorporate it into your repertoire. But because it is, like I say, intrinsically tied to red pill, you are going to have your groups of people that look upon it negatively. And there's some aspects of, there are some places in society where it's like perceived as, misogynistic or sexist because of the nature of it. Because the goal is like you want, as a man, you're trying to essentially use some level of manipulation tactics to like gain the favor of women or, manipulate women to like your benefit. So in that aspect, there are criticisms that have been launched against it, like how you have the whole catcalling issue where like, they say like, oh, that's creepy. That's weird. That's just men trying to like, pick up women in the worst way.
Based on what you're saying, I'm starting to think that Will Smith in Hitch was like a red pill guy.
He might have.
I mean, it was a red pill
He was the pickup
guy.
artist. That's actually what he was.
That's literally what he was.
He was like a pickup scientist.
Yeah. I think they called it, I mean, back in the day, they just called them dating coaches, but now it's just like, nope, you're a red pill guy, or you're a pickup artist. But I mean, essentially, it all goes back to that.
Right.
What I want to do now is kind of go to like some of the videos we have. Click on the first one here. Okay. So this is a guy, his name is Confidence Chris. So he's like a guy, this kind of goes around like the cringe aspect of pickup artistry because this guy basically just goes out on the street every day and he just tries to randomly talk to girls and, tries to get their numbers. But the thing is, and I think he kind of is self-aware, he's a very awkward person and all his videos are just him failing over and over.
Confidence.
Yeah, and not having that confidence. So if anything you can take from this, it's don't be like him. But I think the thing you can take from it is at least you have to go out there and try. You
gotta try to be like him.
Yeah, respect his ambition. Learn from his mistakes. That's what this is.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah,
100%.
failure is powerful. It'll teach you.
Someone will go ahead and just rebound it.
100%.
Hey, how about I get your number real quick?
Oh, I have a boyfriend.
Oh, I have a girlfriend too.
No, I love my boyfriend. We're getting married.
I love my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's how you get STDs. So we're good.
Nah, all you gotta do is work
We're good.
protection.
As I said, I'm not going to say it again. So get the hint. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Well, he tried.
That was cringe.
Yeah,
that was the definition of cringe.
I'll tell you.
That made me uncomfortable. Yeah.
What do you?
So there's not even like creativity to it. You just come up, hey, let me get your number.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah. This is how you do it wrong.
Okay.
But what do you think? Let's break this down, Lou. What do you think was like? What do you think went wrong with him? What do you think was the problem?
He was flat. Like you said, it was
like
flat. He just, hey, give me your number.
Can I have your number?
He had nothing to it. Where was anything interesting about him at
Hello,
all?
baby girl.
Besides a camera in her face.
No, very true. Yeah, I agree.
You could have hit her with a, hey, baby girl, pick your head up. Your tiara's gonna fall.
That would have worked better.
Something smooth,
It probably would have made her laugh.
You
but
gotta
no,
make her smile first.
Did you hit some branches when you fell from heaven?
anything would have worked.
Hey,
And
throw a
he
branch
was
at her.
Weird.
Throw a branch at
But
her.
just give me your number so I can follow you after this. No.
Yeah.
Well, like right as she's got the phone open, so she's like,
Hey, do you have
Yeah.
Instagram? Or something like that.
Yeah, I think another problem too was that like he tried to hit on her, and her friend was there, and whether is that like, and the friend was fat, which I don't know. It sounds a little bit mean,
he had to
but
throw
like
that pepper in
girls are natural C blockers, so I'm just like,
yeah.
if she's a friend, you're better off like trying to approach a girl when she's by herself. Rarely, you're gonna be met with a lot more of a challenge trying to talk to a girl if like she has a friend present, because the friend's gonna be also trying to fight you. And I think that's just unnecessary. That's just an unnecessary aspect.
Yeah.
Especially
It's not
like they were, like-
impossible, but it's just a more of a battle.
It looked like they were about to cross a street too. It's like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
didn't
on the
really
move.
want to be hit on at that moment. It seems
We're already
like.
in
It didn't seem like
danger.
they were like in a position.
I was
to
gonna
really,
mention
Yeah.
that if you look at like the video, you notice the light's still red, and like all they're left to do is just like wait for the light
My
to
God,
go
we're
there.
gonna miss the light talking to this weirdo.
No,
Yeah.
he just continues standing there like, well, I also gotta go across the street, so.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I say like him. He not confident. He was very flat. I mean, his approach was really bad too, because he kind of snuck up behind him. And
Yes.
and even
his
the fact that
camera
like
out.
he didn't even try to initiate actual conversation to get to know him. He started with asking for a number.
Immediately.
Yeah, so like that immediately already like put their walls up. Like, okay, I know what this guy wants. He has no charisma. There's nothing about him like that she would want to see as appealing. He just did it all wrong. So that's how you don't do, picking up anybody.
But he rolled with the punches.
He did.
'Cause He was
walked
like, nice, it's lovely. all
Yeah.
right." Like,
He
okay.
said, I love my girlfriend. You can't have friends?
He might even be intentionally cringe. Like I honestly think he might just.
I'm
be
pretty
doing
sure
it
he
for the
might, because his
videos.
whole channel's just filled with that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
hope
he's I like how he bore ratted himself out of it. Oh, no, very nice, very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, he's so
Um,
funny.
But since we're on the whole thing, there is a tactic in pickup culture called negging.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
lady kind of breaks it down to kind of tell you like the art of negging.
I'm sure she's been negged a lot.
People for the first time. You may not know that you've met actually a pickup artist. Have you heard of them? They're featured in the book called The Game, written by Neil Strauss, and a memoir of his experience as learning from the best pickup artist on how to get women in the sack. He talks about a technique called negging. It's when you meet a target that you want to pick up.
Target.
Not a turn.
Oh, what the hell?
Be careful when you meet people for the first time.
I didn't
You may
touch
not
anything.
know
Oh,
that you've
that was
met
fine.
actually a
Hopefully it
pickup
doesn't do it
artist.
again.
Have you heard of them? They're featured in the book called The Game, written by Neil Strauss, and a memoir of his experience as learning from the best pickup artist on how to get women in the sack. He talks about a technique called negging. It's when you meet a target that you want to pick up, and you deliberately compliment her in a backhanded way that creates an insecurity. Something like, "You have a beautiful smile, but I think you got something on your teeth." My ex liked to say out loud to me, "My mother always complimented me for picking women who aren't Barbie dolls," implying that I'm not a thin, petite woman, as if Barbie's figure actually really exists. Negging creates insecurity so that you want to prove that you are better than what the person just said. It increases your likelihood to seek their approval while becoming more suggestible. There are people who on the first meeting are already working to tear you down. Be
Okay.
careful when you meet
All
people.
right, there you go. Now, what do you guys think about that?
I like
'Cause
it.
she was
It's
I
very
didn't
toxic.
really understand it.
Oh, okay. Basically, what she was saying is that negging is the process of basically giving a girl a backhanded compliment to like basically put her in a position to feel like she has to prove herself. So I guess the way she said is like saying, "Hey, you have a beautiful smile. I just wish you didn't have that shit in your teeth." And
Oh,
yeah,
so you're starting off as toxic.
yeah,
right?
and
Similar
to
lure the
her,
toxic girl
it
to
comes
get
off
toxic with you.
With the
Yeah.
with the illusion of safety.
100%. So it's like I guess kind of probing a girl's insecurity to kind of get her to engage with you.
It's like an instant bait and switch.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, you're so pretty. I mean, but you're
Your
kind
hair
of
could be better.
It's
But
like
you
saying, like,
could
you're
you
pretty,
could
but you're
use
kinda
less
fat.
makes though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now you're
No, I
insulting
think it's
her
a lot
use
meaner
of
than
makeup.
that.
Or like saying like, oh, you look so much better with makeup on, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, all these are great examples of how to tear a woman down.
Which is toxic.
Yeah.
behavior.
Now, do you think because she was framing it in a way, I guess that's very like, it's a tactic that's very antagonistic. Like, do you think it's an inherently bad thing, or do you think it's just like a viable strategy, but it can be used in ways that could be bad?
I think if you're intentionally or actively manipulating a conversation for gain, and in this case sexual gain, I think that is just inherently wrong. Honestly, I can't lie. Like if you're like, yeah, like this, that sounds like perfect. If you're like intentionally trying to say like, oh well, I'm gonna give her a compliment, but then I'm going to insult her in a way so that I can make her more insecure, which increases my chances of getting with her.
Mhm.
I think that's just like childish.
Okay.
It's like yeah, it's toxic and
So
childish
bad.
actually. But I've seen people do this. I've seen this in real life. Like I've seen this happen a lot actually. When I was in Thailand, people would just do this all the time.
Like a car salesman will be like, "You look like the kind of person that'll drive this kind of truck, but I don't know if you can handle all.
Yeah.
A V8. A V8 seems a little above you, though. I don't know if you're ready for it."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Hold up, what? I could do a V8. I know how to fish."
Yeah, it's funny because I've actually done this, but like more so like when I'm trying to get someone to do something in a game, like Leezy, for example, I'll like neg
What?
Leezy.
You're probably not even that good today.
Yeah, like, I bet you can't win this lane, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to pull it off, stuff like that.
That's true. Everyone agree with that, or everyone got more of another perspective saying
Yeah.
it's not all that bad because
I
don't
feel
know, I
it's good one to do with cars and video games is a great example.
yeah.
It's good when it doesn't involve like actively harming a person.
Yeah.
But if you're using it as like a
Reverse
like
psychology is
Yeah, that's what I-
very
Yeah.
different from like just completely,
Well,
Going
it's-
in
it's-
ready
right,
to
you're
insult
insulting
someone.
them.
Yeah,
Insulting them to
sexual
their
game.
face.
and it's like with reverse psychology, like when I'm doing it with a game, like Leezy knows I'm joking. Like he can catch on that I'm using reverse psychology, and that's what makes it funny. That's the whole
Right.
point.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna suddenly do better because I negged him, you know?
Yeah.
Is sexual game bad though?
Yeah.
No,
I don't think it's
no.
bad.
games are bad.
It depends on how you use game. I
Upon
think that,
manipulation, I think.
Yeah,
is where
like-
it makes it.
But I
Yeah.
mean, most guys are gonna come off manipulative when they're trying to get what they want from a female.
that's a
Yeah.
good point. Honestly.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because girls are delusional. For the most
Yeah.
part, right? So sometimes you gotta come off a little like you gotta play with them a little bit sometimes. That's
I think it depends on the girl. It depends on like where you're, it depends on where you're at and the types of girls that you're looking for. Like some girl, I mean, obviously I say a lot of girls are pretty delusional when it comes to that kind of thing. Like, they know what they want. They just don't want to give that to somebody,
Agreed.
usually. But at the same time, if it comes to the point where it seems like, cause this like game and negging, I'll say it's different. Like I say that if there's a bunch of different types of game that you can run with a girl, there's like, obviously just being a nice guy, that doesn't work. That's not going to work in probably most situations, but that doesn't mean you need to be a bad guy,
Well, I think that it's not inherently bad, and I would say that because if you're trying to use game, you got to be a little bit creative, and a lot of girls are used to just like flat compliments, to where it's like a lot of them will just kind of like overlook that. Like if you go up to like a random girl and try to catch her attention with a compliment, you'll run into a lot of girls that might, that won't really flatter them all that much, because like you're like maybe the third guy that said that to her that day.
Mm-hmm.
But like
If
if
you
you
do the
tease them a little bit, like
opposite.
if you're not being malicious, but you're just being playful,
I
I
see
think
what you're
that could
saying.
work. So it's like, you say something, like let's say she's wearing a Game of Thrones shirt, and it's like, that's a nice shirt. I bet you don't even watch it though. Just tease her with something small like that.
I see.
I don't think that's
Something
like
to engage
I
in
don't think that's
I
so
wouldn't
bad.
say that's negging.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
not-
say
not
that's
quite
You wouldn't
negative.
even call it negging.
I wouldn't call
What
that.
if somebody said
that's
something
just
like,
like a
Playful
playful
banter.
That's
Yeah.
banter, yeah.
Mhm.
Like
what if somebody said something like, "You're cute for a fat girl"?
That is
Yeah.
negging.
Oh.
That's
That's
super
Oh,
you
yeah.
negging.
said that like you've done it before.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That one was loaded, man.
That girl's heart was probably broken.
Real
That's
real
right.
quick check. Is this negging?
Fat.
Actually,
That's a perfect example.
is it always got to be like an insult? Like, is that like the core of negging? I thought it could be
Essentially.
like
It
teasing.
has to take back from the compliment,
compliment,
itself.
yeah.
Oh,
and that's
okay.
like reverse the compliment. If you say like, "Oh, nice
Hey.
Game of Thrones shirt," I bet you don't watch the show. I mean, that's not like something that would actually affect them.
Okay,
You know,
but it does take back the
it's not a
original state.
backhanded compliment. I think.
Okay, I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like a tease that could like fit in that.
if you said like a nice Game of Thrones shirt, but it's kind of tight on you,
Mm.
that would
Yeah.
be a,
Oh,
that'd be
okay.
a backhanded compliment.
Okay,
Unless she was looking fine.
yeah, which is
True. She
then-
knows
then
it.
it does work.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know.
Yeah,
But
you're-
no, that could hurt someone.
yeah, you're pretty.
That hit someone quick.
You're pretty.
You're
pretty fat.
Yeah. Like, that's like the ultimate like 80s bully negging right
Yeah.
there.
You're pretty for small boobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Small boobs.
Okay. Well, yeah, like, well, I guess since we're kind of like on the aspect of like how the game within pickup artistry can be like positive and negative. This guy has more of a more negative take of why he thinks a lot of pickup artists and what they teach don't work and why they're lame.
Just not cool.
Yeah, this is Justin Waller. He's just a guy.
Some Miami bro.
Yeah, he's a bro.
From Miami.
You're gonna hear me talking about how to text girls. Text girls like this, do this. Most importantly, how to manipulate girls. One thing that I cannot stand seeing is people teaching young men how to neg women. It's lame. Just be the best man you can be. Because if you can become that man, you now have the opportunity to be able to act like a gentleman and not have to do things to manipulate other people. You're just that guy. And I think that we're trying to build young men that are that guy. Even if it's not a Fresh or Myron status or a Destiny status, maybe they're just a person that lives in a small town, has respect for people in the community, makes a couple $100,000 a year, which is a lot, and they live a full, fulfilled life where they can have all the things that they wanted, and they worked hard to get it, so they really appreciate it. You're never gonna hear me talking about
I like this guy. I
Yeah.
agree with
I
him.
mean, like,
Yeah.
it's all pretty reasonable. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like you don't gotta be a bad person.
yeah, just be a good guy.
Yeah,
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, this guy,
Good advice.
his whole thing just seems to be like, if you just work on being a really like good person in terms of like, being genuine and working on yourself, then you don't gotta like worry about pickup lines and
Yeah.
trying to like use manipulative words to get a woman to
I
spend.
think-
Speak with
think-
their actions.
I think there's a certain level where it's like the women that you actually want to be with in some cases aren't gonna be like susceptible to negging. Like,
Yeah.
club girls probably, yeah, sure, they'll probably be
In their layers.
susceptible to it. But like, for what I'm looking for like a nice church woman or a nice woman of faith or something. I'm not gonna if I can neg her and it works, then it just kind of like says something about their character. So
Yeah.
like I'm not just looking for a one night stand at this point. So it's like the women you can actually successfully neg and get with are probably just like one night stand girls anyway.
Yeah.
Models.
Yeah. College girls.
Yeah.
College girls for
Secure.
sure.
I'd agree.
I may have done that in college actually. Now that I think about it,
Negging.
but yeah.
Okay.
I did it in high school.
I feel like
I think I can think back to like my high
Everyone's-
school self.
everyone's-
I feel like that's just the thing guys do,
Yeah.
At,
Yeah, I think
at
so.
one point in your life, you've
At
done
one
it.
point
At
in
one
your
point,
life,
not all,
yeah.
It's happened before.
We're just too
What I mean-
uncreative, and it's like
Sometimes we just
Yeah.
don't care.
we
just
just
gotta
gotta
say
shoot the
anything.
shot.
Yeah.
I would like almost like inadvertently neg myself because I once upon a time I had this pickup line where it was like, "Excuse me." I would like stop someone on the street. I'll say, "Excuse me," and then they would look at me. We'd make eye contact, and I say, "Why are you so beautiful?" And it was just like the corniest, stupidest thing ever.
That's not even negging. That's just you being like.
Well, I'm like negging myself because I'm just
Weird.
making myself like a douchebag. But it worked. Hey, it worked.
Hey, if it worked,
Yeah,
then
it
what are
worked.
you talking
I'd say
about?
it
That's
worked.
what's up,
It worked like maybe 2% of the time.
bro. 2% is 2%. I
Yeah,
love
that's
2%
Those
no.
are good numbers.
Yeah.
So,
2%.
so has everybody in here tried a pickup before? A pickup line? I have.
I think I have. I've had it
Yeah,
bars.
I
But
yeah.
I always do
Not
it like
really,
very
no.
tongue in cheek though. Like I
Same.
kind of like they know like, hey, I'm just this is just me trying to break the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the point of doing what I just said because it was like a joke. It's almost like a joke in itself. I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. Like negging though, I think
It's-
that's where it's like it's intentional. Like if you're actually doing like the strategy is I'm gonna compliment you, but then make you feel bad.
Yeah.
See if that like
Makes
kind
you
of
feel like the lady said,
Yeah.
more suggestible.
yeah, like they're engaged with you because now they feel like they have something to prove, but
Looking
it's
for
not
this
like
approval,
genuine
right,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
They suddenly need you to like approve them being alive.
This
Yeah.
minor validation, like
Yeah.
what? These shoes aren't ugly.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing with pickup artistry a lot of times because it's not really focused on like you being a good guy. It's about using whatever method works to get the woman to engage with you.
It
You
feels
know,
like how the stigma of the actual phrase has changed.
Yeah.
Like it was once upon a time about how to be the best man.
Yeah.
How to get a girl.
Like
how to
chivalry.
make a girl like chivalry. How
Yeah.
to be the most.
Now it's
You could
like
be.
I'm getting laid at any cost.
Right.
That's literally it. I
Yeah.
just want to get laid.
You're going to jail, buddy.
These are their stories.
Yo,
These are the story of those victims.
I ate them all.
This guy looks like Chris Tyson. What's he talking about?
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Back in the pickup artist industry, this is what I always used to
The
say, and it
industry.
would make guys really, really uncomfortable, which is men come to that industry for the approval of women. They stay for the approval of men. Like, look, every guy wants to have some sexual experiences. Every guy wants to be able to have a little bit more power and options in his dating life. But the men who obsess over it and like really kind of become compulsive about it, it's never about the women. It's about the approval from other men. It took me a long time to kind of figure that out about myself. And it was an important realization. And I think it's just something that needs to be said, especially to guys who like that sort of content and consume a lot of it. You're not consuming all that content for the women. Back in the pickup.
That's right, listeners.
So he likes men.
Well, I think it's just like you're not looking for the approval of women anymore. Like you're doing it because you want the approval of
You
men.
want to seem like a cool dude. to
Yeah.
the rest of the dudes.
I think it's like the equivalent of a guy that like gets really into working out. Like he's like, I want to improve myself to
So I can look
impress
good for the
women.
How
other
much could you bench?
guys.
Yeah, but then it's like at a point it turns into like, now I just want to be stronger than all the guys and have all the guys know that I'm the strongest here. And it's like, well, is it really about being attractive for women or you just
Top
want
G.
to get the approval of all the
Status.
guys
Oh, I
there?
see.
That
Yeah,
type of thing.
status symbols.
Are you the
Are you
top
driving
G
a
or
fast
not?
car because girls like fast cars? Or do you want to show the other guys that you have a fast car?
Right. Like, do you really want to pick up all these women or you want to show all the men that you can pick up all
You
these
want
women?
to show up to the
Yeah.
guys.
I don't see how that
How it correlates?
Yeah, I don't see it.
It's-
At least for this,
Yeah.
for me, if I'm doing something to get women, I mean, yes, the approval would be nice from the guys seeing,
He
but I'm
was-
still doing it to get women.
He was
Yeah.
talking about the industry specifically, so the coaches more so.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
imagine
okay,
if you grab a
okay.
mic and you're like, I want to sell tickets and I want to sell books. to let people know that I know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
Okay.
that's
okay.
come to my
okay.
speaking
That makes
event.
more sense. I'm
Those
like,
guys are the
Yeah.
ones that want to
Okay.
stay in the industry to prove to all those men that they are worth their ticket cost.
Uh-huh. Actually, Steve, because I remember back in the day, you were kind of into like the lifestyle coach thing for a
Yeah.
while.
That's
Did you
true.
notice a culture of guys that were like doing it not to help people, but because they want to seem like they're the most knowledgeable coach?
Well, so
is that like a
with the
thing?
whole lifestyle coach thing, it was more so about people just wanting to not work. they just wanted to not have a job, so they became a coach, and that was definitely why I was into it. I was like, but I actually wanted to help people, obviously, but I was like, man, I hate working, so I'm gonna figure out how to make money doing coaching. And I never actually got around to doing it because someone had told me like, hey, why don't you like? So it was like a random Facebook comment, but I took it to heart. There was like, you're 21, you haven't done anything. How are you gonna coach anybody? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do something. So for me, I think I definitely found a lot of different coaches that were doing it just because they wanted like to inflate their ego.
Right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always like that. Like sometimes they actually did want to help people. Sometimes they actually did have, good knowledge. I had a few coaches that I worked with. But yeah, I think it's a big ego thing a lot of the time. It wasn't necessarily like comparing yourself to other coaches though. Though there was like a coaching community, like, on Facebook and on social media and everywhere. There was like a coaching community where a lot of people would it was like a food chain of coaches. It was like,
A pyramid
I'm
of
the
coaches?
big
I want to
coach.
coach this other coach.
Yeah, it's like a coach for coaches. You could be a coach for coaches, or you could be the coach for
Wanna
the
be his
coach's
coach.
coach. It's like a coaching
Master
pyramid scheme.
Jedi.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah. It's like,
terrible.
but those coaches are charging
That's
like
funny.
$10,000. Like they'd be like,
Whoa.
"I'll coach you on how to grow your coaching business to $100,000 a year." Yeah, it's
Jesus.
like I'm charging like some of those people are charging $10,000 a
That's pretty
month for a
funny.
coaching session.
That's insane.
Yeah, so it's like they got that knowledge, bro.
That's pretty
But it's
funny.
mostly, I think it's mostly about just getting
It's
in their
pimping.
network.
Mm.
Yeah.
These guys are just pimping each other.
Sounds like it.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, coaches can be valuable, man. It's the same thing as going to school, I think. If you find someone that has a lot of experience, like right now I have a business coach, actually. I haven't, he's doing a podcast soon. He's a client, so we're like doing a bartering deal. So we're still like in the starting phase, but basically like a coach is sort of just like a cheerleader. And it's good to have a cheerleader.
A
on
hype
side.
man.
Yeah, hype man but someone with actual experience. So this guy, he's like run $1 million sales departments, and that's where I struggle, sales. So instead of me like going to a freaking sales course, I can just hire someone who does sales to teach me how to do it.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I'm sure it has its applications. Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, we're off the Miami guy topic, but
Yeah. Let's
I
get back.
assume these pickup artist guys do the same thing since they have courses and they have all these other things that probably don't work very well.
Yeah, I assume it works in like the same manner. Like probably have pickup artists teaching people how to teach being a pickup artist.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
explained it like it's a whole industry. So,
Just buy my book,
Yeah.
Ty Lopez.
but that we kind of like disseminated the whole concept pretty well. Watched a lot of different perspectives. What's your guys' overall take about the whole pickup artist industry? Do you think it's something that men could find useful, or do you think there's other avenues men could take rather than focusing too heavily on pickup lines and other what the pickup artist industry has to offer?
I give it a sinful out of 10.
I like that.
10.
It's heathenistic.
I see it as
Blasphemy.
no different other than life coaching with
Yeah.
with a bad stigma, with a bad title. Like someone just put a bad title on a regular book that's like the same thing as everything else.
Yeah.
It's just like how to be
It's like
approachable, how to be
How to
like,
talk to women.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no,
like,
I don't think
a-
it's that. I think that's more like dating coaching. Pickup artistry is more like how can you like convince
How are you
women to sleep
engaging
with
with
you.
literally
And,
Yeah.
are they self-proclaimed pickup artists, or were they given that stigma beyond?
All of them tend to like, because most pickup artists, like when they have like when they're like trying to have a course on it, they'll always present themselves as like, I used to be a loser, but now I have sex with 100 girls a week. Like they usually do that type of
Okay, all
like
right.
that's who
crazy.
they usually
I was
always
thinking
do.
like,
Yeah, look whose side you're on, Hiram.
no. See, I was thinking like Steve Harvey.
Oh no, he wouldn't be a pickup. Like literally, there
No,
are
he's like the
verbatim
opposite.
pickup
He's
artists
like-
who
And
literally.
that's my point. It's like
Yeah.
there's two sides to this coin. It's like
Yeah.
there's the do what you can to manipulate
Yeah.
these women, or do what you can
To
to
improve
be
yourself.
Most-
exactly.
Most of the time, because like most pickup artists in that industry, their selling point is I'm a guy that gets a lot of women through simple techniques you can use when talking to women.
So
And
listen to me,
oftentimes they'll
give me your
advertise
money.
themselves as someone that you can trust me because I have sex with a lot of women all the time, or I go on a lot of dates
What
with
if it's
girls.
a married person?
Most
like-
people probably won't listen to it.
What if it's a married person in a church telling you how to get a good wife?
That's not a pickup artist.
I mean, that guy. I'd be surprised.
Why
I'm
not?
just
He's
like,
picking up a wife.
I would be shocked. Well, I'd just be like, that's the thing. He's probably trying to sell you how to get a wife, not just how to
Not
get a
just
bunch
how to
of
sleep
sex.
with a billion women.
Yeah, because most of it is how to sleep
the
with a lot
fine
of
line
women.
between a pickup artist and a relationship coach is the number.
That's the market.
Yeah, one's trying to mediate like how to act in a relationship. One is how to get a lot of women to have sex with you.
But is that
That's the
ever
market,
defined?
though, you know?
Is that's like
A
that's
lot of
the
young
market
dudes
itself?
want that.
Okay,
Well, that's what I was about to
that's
say.
terrible then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of dudes want to bang on women. Like,
well, actually, because
I couldn't perceive it, man.
yeah, because the definition actually it literally states the pickup self-identified as the seduction community, and it's a movement whose goal is seduction and sexual access. So it's literally just about seducing women for sex.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's
All
what
right,
it is.
Okay, that's pretty bad, man.
It sounds high school to me.
It sounds very
Yeah.
high school. It sounds like how
Like-
you get a bunch of high school kids to give you their lunch.
Yeah, because at
yeah.
the end of the day, you still got to become
100%.
as a man.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
No, I agree. I think at the end of the day, that's my personal opinion. Like the best way to kind of get all aspects of success from life without having to resort to like pretty much tricks is, like I said, just be the best person you can be. Follow tips that are like more around self-improvement. I'm sure pickup artistry does have its like advantages, but if you're going to
Mostly
obsess on it
negative.
and make it your only goal, you can't get out of the stigma of like you're just a person, like I said, with a high school mentality. If I just want to get sex from women as frequently as possible in the most easy way.
So a pickup artist is basically just like a male Britney Renner.
Yes.
Yeah, how to be a
how to be a
F-boy.
male Britney Runner.
that's a good point. I
Yeah,
like that.
that's very much.
Good point.
Yeah, we're actually going to
Solid.
cover the next type of Miami guy, right? The next type of Miami
Yeah,
guy. We're going to be doing that one next week.
Yeah.
So that one's actually more in line with kind of what, you were sort of hoping a pickup artist was. Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a good person.
Yeah, like the self-improvement guy.
Yeah,
seem a little bit better.
Yeah, the self-improvement guy, that and I think that's what a lot of modern day red pill podcasts will mostly be about, where it's like, being the best man you can be. So once we get to that, maybe there'll be more of a positive atmosphere with how you guys perceive that. But this one is more so the pickup artist. And a lot of the goal is always going to be just to like become more sexually attractive to women for the goal of getting sex.
Yeah, so I think we can close this one out. Basically, you guys can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all different platforms. Also Patreon.
Yeah, what do we got on there?
subscribe for tips.
Patreon, we have all of the My Black Friends podcast, which
many
is
episodes?
80 episodes in so far. We'll be recording more in the near future.
Very nice.
$5 a month gets you full access. And check us out on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
All of
Got some hits on TikTok right now. The clips are actually pretty fire.
Yeah.
So if you're having trouble sharing the show with your friends, maybe they don't have time to watch, just share a clip with them sometime. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for popping in. We got to pop out of here.
All right. Peace.
Ah!